And another thing to keep in mind that it's a servant that is sent, not Isaac. So Isaac is a very passive figure in the patriarchal narratives. So we all really saw him in the Abraham story as, a near sacrifice. He doesn't really say anything. He's very quiet there. Um, and the same thing is pretty much throughout the next couple chapters. He's around for a couple chapters, and then we'll lose sight of him, and then we'll see him at his death, and that'll be it. So we want to keep that in mind that he's not the one who's going to go there, and by him being a more passive figure, it really allows Rebecca to come to the fore. So we'll see again aspects of polytheism and paganism versus monotheism here being juxtaposed. Remember, Judaism is a monotheistic revolution, and the way you do a revolution is you not only uh, you make an argument for your own God or your own way of life, but you make a heavy critique of all the other forms of faith that are out there. And so you see a very heavy critique of polytheism and paganism in these pages. Uh, and you see other things as well, which we'll point out. Origins versus evolutions, right? So Abraham is sending a servant back to where he comes from, but at the same time, he has moved away from his homeland and their ideas and their polytheistic faith to other things. Rebecca and the watering camel scene, a great scene. Make sure you read the footnotes there. Alder will explain why it's such a heroic scene and why it really sets the stage for Rebecca throughout. Sarah and Rebecca, there will be a sort of ceremonial passing of the torch at the end of the chapter, signifying that Rebecca is now the matriarch and Rebecca is you know, taking over where Sarah left off. And then Laban, the introduction of Laban, who is Rebecca's brother. He's in charge of things, and we're going to see him later on with the Jacob story. So you want to see his characterization there and keep it in mind. Okay, and then in Genesis 25, we'll finally have the death of Abraham. Somewhat, underdetermined. It's not a real big thing. And then we get a genealogy of Ishmael for some reason, right? Seems kind of weird. Do we get that? And then we'll start to move fully into the Isaac story or the next patriarchal story.